Hi there. Please tell me you can hear me in the chat because this has been one manic stream to set up. I don't know if you saw stuff on Twitter and also with the YouTube community doodah. My internet is off at home at the minute, so I've had to very quickly put together a streaming rig in my in-laws' back room. So please tell me you can hear me. Gamer Rider, this is going to be on Assetto Corsa 1, the original Assetto Corsa, and it's basically the whole Romain Grosjean esports team thing that he arranges, and then there's loads of regional qualifiers, as it were, and then the top two from every race in the regional, so UK, Germany, Scandinavia, Japan, Asia, all that stuff. They're all going to come together into this race, which is going to be an hour around Silverstone in GT3s. It's the McLaren 650S, it's the Mercedes GT3, and it's also the Lamborghini Huracan. So three really cool cars that they're going to be driving in, and the winner wins mega money. It's it's proper esports. It's going to be great. Let's see who is in the chat so far. We've got 420 Secrets asking where are the comments. No clue. I've not been near the comments on YouTube for a long time. Alec French Poke also here. Anonymous is also here. And Gamer Rider G3 asking if it's ACC or iRace. Or iRacing, I should say. Is it okay if I slouch a little bit because it's hurting my back doing this? But yeah, we're restreaming the grand final. I've been asked by Acer and Predator and Romain Grosjean to restream this, so this is a big deal. I've been selected. Well, I mean, other people are doing it too. Maxime MXM, she's restreaming it. A couple of others. Fail Race also on their YouTube channel. They're restreaming it. I think we're the only two YouTubers that are restreaming it. Everything else is on Twitch. Evo cars or not, I think they're just the standard cars. Gamer Rider, they're just the standard GT3s. Probably because it's an older version, so I don't think they were released at the time. But yeah, I'm in my in-laws' back room, so if you hear any clanging around or sneezing or coughing or anything like that, that'll be why. This isn't a fancy background, I'm just in a different location. Internet woes on top of the fact that the car's blown a rod, so that needs sorting out as well. So it's all busy at the minute, so yeah, apologies in advance for any lack of content. But I can tell you that you, people at home, you can also win stuff. There is an raffle. If you go into the link underneath this video, you'll find a link to Roman's Twitch channel. And when you click on that, it sends data to a raffle. And then at various points during the broadcast tonight, you can win stuff. There's things like an R8G Esports t-shirt. There's a mini helmet. There's other bits and pieces. I'll pull it up on my other screen here. Well, I'll say other screen. I've only got one, and now my phone's going off. Oh, this is all brilliant here tonight, isn't it? Acer, there it is. So you can win. Let me find it. Whoever's ringing me is going to have to leave a message because I'm working. The raffle is a Predator t-shirt, a racing cap, a fan watch, a Le Mans miniature car, so the R8G Esports LMP2 from Le Mans Virtual. Some racing gloves signed by Roman, and one of those mini helmets that are very collectible. So all good stuff. And just checking everything else that's going on. That's the stuff for the influencers, which apparently I am. That's all the stuff that we've got to abide by. Yep, voicemail, brilliant. First place in this race will win €2,500. As well as a unique trophy, one of those rings, like the ones that LeBron James gets if he wins the NBA playoffs, and one of those, a wreath, a proper wreath as well. And they'll also be a member of the R8G Esports team for 1 full year. So this is basically like people that have gone through a hot lap competition, 10 minutes. So what will happen is I'm basically introducing you to everything because not everybody's clued up on esports and things like that. And then I hand over to Lewis McGlade and David Christie, who are going to be commentating on the actual event. And during the event, I'm going to be asking Roman a question. Now, I would have put this to the community, and then I would have picked the best one and then used that, but it was very, very quickly done, so I basically just went, that. I think it's a good question. But yeah, if you have any questions on what's happening tonight, leave them in chat. I will be here while the stream is going on because I have to restream the RTMP stream from Paris, and then I can just chat away and just interact with you lot if you're into that kind of thing. How many people do we actually have watching at ATM at the minute? Bring up YouTube live streaming. We've got 26 people watching. Great. That's good. Could do with some more. That'd be great. So yeah, fire this stream around to get as many people watching as possible, and it will all be good. I know this is mainly a channel where I talk about what's happening in motorsport now and in the past, but I do like my sim racing. I do esports and things like that. I mean, I'm not at the top level like these guys are going to be, but you know, it's nice to be involved where I can. Did the Formula Pro a couple of weeks ago, and this is just something I enjoy doing and just want to share with you. And this started out as a sim racing channel that got lucky, and you can tell how quickly I had to throw all this together because I haven't had time to iron my polo shirt. I'm going to look like a right idiot in front of Roman later, aren't I? Did I have to watch IndyCar this weekend? I did not. Not had an internet connection. That's why I didn't watch the IndyCar this weekend. But I did see someone wiped out the fence at turn 3. Because that's what it's called. It's turn 3, not turn 5. I do advise you to get drank ready as well. But yeah, ask any questions as to what's happening in the race tonight. I'll try and answer them the best I can. We've got about 6 minutes until I need to hand over to the actual stream. That's all queued up in the background, ready to go. Lovely day. I managed to get the camera just so with the onboard things. I can actually see Mr. Romain Grosjean on the Zoom chat. That's pretty cool. But no, Mr. KO, I did not watch the IndyCars. I didn't watch the Formula 1 either, to be honest. I watched the BTCC though. That was all good. Whew, this is nerve-wracking. Have to get everything sorted out very, very quickly and all that stuff. I should probably just fire this out on Twitter as well, wherever you can. Just fire it out. Do it because I told you to, because this is an big deal. I will also do it. You can also tell that I'm not particularly an-streamist either, am I? I don't know how Jimmy and Jardier do this, you know. Let's go send that over to Twitter. I'm restreaming. Skip the notifications. Acer Predator. How do you spell Predator? Predator. Okay. There we go. How can you convince me to watch MotoGP this weekend? By paying me a lot of money. I do get asked a lot, will you ever do something on the TT? Will you ever do anything on superbikes or anything like that? But I'm just not interested in motorbikes. I'm really not. I grew up in a part of England where if you didn't own a motorcycle, you knew about 5 people who did. And that's that's pretty much the state of things. And when you hear 2-stroke moped engines going past your house at 3 o'clock in the morning in the middle of summer, it does you nutting. It really does. But yeah, I just don't get motorbike racing. I've never been interested in it. I'm a 4-wheel guy. I'll watch electric 4-wheel racing, but I won't watch 2-wheel racing. I don't know, but it's all good. Let me just see if there's anything else I need to let you know about. Like I say, if you want to join in the raffle, just click the link down in the description. That will take you to Roman's Twitch. That will help you win stuff. Second place, might as well give you the information as to the 3 prizes. €2,500 for the winner. Cash prize of €1,500 for second place, and then €1,000 for third place. So, you know, almost a month's wages for a night's work. Not bad at all. But there's actually a whole thing going on in Paris right now, and they're going to be firing that out to the world, and it's I mean, this is big, right? This is a lot of people think that esports is just kids playing video games in their mum's basement, but it's becoming more and more of a big thing. Huge money on the line as well in some cases on the iRacing stuff. But yeah, like I say, you can win Predator t-shirts, racing caps, watches. You can win a miniature Le Mans car. You can win some racing gloves and a mini helmet, which is based off his current IndyCar helmet. So it's not one of his Formula 1 helmets. It's his current IndyCar one with the AutoNation and DHL logos all over it. They look pretty cool, they do. That'll be something I might want to start collecting at some point. But yeah, like I say, ask away for any questions. I don't care about motorbikes either, but I might drop into ITV on Sunday given that it's free. Yeah, that's true. I could always give it a go, and then I've not lost anything, have I? Oh dear. So, how are we all doing? I've been rambling. You can tell I don't stream very often. Well, I do, but I don't really talk during them because I'm always driving. So we have some great stuff tonight, actually. 60 minutes of racing around Silverstone. And anyone can be a winner. Yeah, there's a studio in Paris that will have the R8G team there. Like a prize-giving ceremony at the end. And like I say, a former F1 driver and current IndyCar driver in the actually running this whole thing. The Predator Race Cups were from Germany, the UK, France, Poland, the Nordics. So that's Sweden, Denmark and Norway. The Middle East, the Netherlands, Turkey, Spain, Portugal, Italy and Czech and Slovakia. Not Czechoslovakia because that doesn't exist anymore. Commentated by Lewis McLeod and David Christie. Standard stuff. SimGrid legends themselves. Roman will be on camera and available for Q&A with influencers and chat, which is, yeah, that will be something else you can get involved with. Additional guests will speak live from a studio in Paris about sim racing and gaming. Roman stats, for those of you who are interested, 10 years in Formula 1, 164 starts, 10 podiums, and 389 points. So he wasn't terrible. We always remember the last bit, we always remember the crashes and things like that, but he wasn't terrible. Got a podium in that Lotus in 2015. He's a legend. So we've just reached 1850 UK time. Soon be time to hand over to the actual stream. It's still funny seeing those DHL cars going fast because in Germany we mock DHL for saying it's short for "it does take longer" in German. German humour. Dauert halt langer. It does take longer. So that doesn't work over here. I suppose you've got Royal Mail, which you can call Royal Snail. But they're pretty good. They're usually pretty good. So I'm just trying to figure out what's... yeah, please hand over now. So I will do that. I'm going to mute my microphone. And you just enjoy the rest of the evening. I'll be back at the end for another 15 minutes or so just to go over things and just chat with you, hang out and all that stuff. But I'll see you later.
What? It's probably...
Well, hello everyone and welcome along to the Predator Cup of 2022 as we get ready to see our 24 national finalists battle it out to become the International Predator Cup champion of 2022. It's going to be a thrilling fight, I have absolutely no doubt. And before myself, Lewis McGlade and David Christie waffle on for hour after hour, we should really introduce the man himself. Romain Grosjean is going to be standing by to give you his own welcome.
Yeah, hi everyone. Good to see you. I'm glad to see that the Predator Cup has attached so many of you. I've been following all the national finals, and I must say I'm very, very excited for the international final and to watch the race and see who's going to win.
It's going to be a lot of fun throughout the entirety of the night, but it's not just myself and David, who will say some words in a few moments, don't worry. We do also have an entire studio in Paris that has been waiting by the wayside. Let's catch up with what's going on down there.
Hello everyone, welcome in Paris. I'm in the good company with a great sim racer, Dutch sim racer. Hello Martin.
Hello everyone.
Welcome in the Acer showroom in Paris. Hello Andre, the Ryzen kid from Germany. All good?
Hey guys, yeah, all good.
It's a pleasure to be there. So it's a race. So it means that at the end of the race, we need to give a couple of things to the winners and the podium setter. So Martin, what will be the prize for the winner?
The prize for the winner will be this amazing and pretty big trophy, I've got to say.
Wow, it's a nice one. But I'm sure Andre will be a bit more popular than you because he has something extra for the winner. So what is it, Andre?
Exactly. I've got a paycheck of 2,500 euros for the winner.
Wow, it's a great cash prize from Predator Gaming. It was over more than 50k prize money on the World competition, 25k of products, 25k of money, and then we have a little bit of extra as well, which is a ring, a Predator ring. So exactly like when you did Indy 500, the winner will be able to wear that really great ring. Last but not least, of course, the winner will be part of a sim racing team, a pro sim racing team, Romain Grosjean LAG. So welcome to the winner into the team. Martin, I'm sure when you were young, it would have been a dream to compete in a competition where you can be part of Romain Grosjean Esports team.
Definitely, it was always it has always been a dream for me to be in a big team. And after a lot of hard work, it finally paid off after many years. So I was really happy to be able to be part of Romain Grosjean's esports team.
It's nice to have a couple of prize money as well, which is at the end the big motivation for sim racers to train all the time.
Definitely, prize money is one of the biggest motivations to keep on going, and it's very nice to put that in your back pocket.
And those guys need to be very motivated. So enough talk from Paris. No, it's time for the races, the 24 races, to race for the big prizes we just show you.
We'll be catching up with Paris quite a few times throughout the running of the evening. In fact, looking over a rig from Martin van Loosenoord, he'll be showing us what it is for such a talented couple of drivers for himself and Andre Melchers. Always going to be great to pick up from that. But now we do actually get to speak to David Christie. Hello. This is going to be a fun night, isn't it?
Oh my god, I am so beyond excited. Firstly, it's amazing to actually be part of this, the Predator Cup 2022, the actual Romain Grosjean. This is a proper honour list. We've been obviously working away with the rest of the production team all the way through the day, getting this all set up and all ready, and the amount of work that's gone into today, really, really impressive event.
Yeah, it really is. And like I said, I mean, you've got all those prizes and such to win, which, of course, there are also raffles and such, which you can take a part of. We'll be discussing a little bit more as to how that's going to work once the race has begun. They're in qualifying at the moment, and we'll catch up with all of the on-track action in a few moments' time before we go into what will be an hour-long race. Just one race to battle it out. It is going to be nervy out there.
It really is, and it's Silverstone as well, one of the ultimate GT3 tracks. It's so wide, it's plenty of long straights so those cars can get up to their proper max speeds. Stowe Corner, for example, going into the arena. Yeah, I think we're going to see a few tears and tantrums tonight, Lewis. It's going to be an epic race, and when we look at the list, and we were speaking about this off air as well. The names that we see in this list, I mean, some of the names that we see on the reserve list for tonight's race is absolutely unbelievable.
And yet there is still one country with 2 drivers that we're really looking at as being the favourites here. And it's no disrespect to everyone else, but me and David, we've commentated on quite a lot, more so, obviously, together on ACC and stuff. There are 2 drivers that we know quite well in the form of Mateusz Tuszkiewicz and his teammate Jakub Charkot. The 2 of those are going to be very strong, considering the reserve driver from the Polish nationals was Dominik Blyer, who is incredibly fast. And they, Triton, are a team that are well known for participating on AC. They've won the Polish national championships on AC over the last couple of years. They're very, very strong here.
They absolutely are. We saw their name on the list and we're like, okay, that is a formidable entry. But Lewis, chat seems to think otherwise. They've given the commands for Anjan Amathan to have his name engraved on the trophy as well. So again, a lot of drivers that are maybe new to myself and you here in Assetto Corsa as well. That is another big thing for me as well, is the fact that back on this OG Assetto Corsa platform, the fact that this is still such a competitive field is absolutely fantastic.
Well, where there is money and prizes, sim racers will go. That is just how it goes, especially with a prestigious competition like the Predator Cup here. It was run last year and stuff. It's a formidable battle to get through onto this, going through your nationals and then into the international final like what we have here. It's a long road that brings you to this one moment. And let's be honest, we know what sim racing's like. It's so easy for it to go sideways at the very first corner of the track.
Well, that's it. I mean, after all that road they've had to come through with all the hurdles, all of the different things to be able to do that, it's a fantastic thing to be able to do that.
Well, I think we'll get David back in just a moment, because as much as I do like the face that you were pulling there, I'm not so sure it was the correct one for now. David, we've got you back. It's all good. I'm just giving us a bit of a heartbreak here before we go into the race.
I was just checking to see if you'd missed me, Lewis. That's all.
Always. Well, I've always got my eyes on you. Don't worry. Especially with these great t-shirts, by the way, that you'll be able to try and get yourself one off. They are very comfortable. I will say that, and they make us look the part. That's the critical thing. We're here. We've got to represent the brand as well.
Oh, absolutely. And I was very clear to the production team. As soon as this came through the post list, they ain't getting us back. This is mine now. I went outside like 10 minutes ago at the shop just so I could wander about in it. It's like, yeah, I am proud.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, you did look good. You were in a white shirt a bit earlier on, not quite a shirt and tie like what I've been known to wear on the odd broadcast here and there. But when the time comes to wear a shirt like this, you've just got to. And over a race, they're gonna see later on. Obviously, it's going to be a 60-minute race. Going to be difficult to keep the tyres in for the entirety of the 60 minutes. Because realistically, qualifying is going to play its part. Track position is king in a race like this. It's quite difficult to overtake at Silverstone, albeit not impossible. And the thing is, sure, you can make the moves down into Stowe and stuff, but you want to be out by yourself. You want to be comfortable by yourself and make sure that you're not overstretching those tyres. And that's kind of one of the most important bits in a race like this.
It really, really is. There's so many different factors come into this. Things like tyre wear, strategy, having to think about who you're battling out there on track as well, Lewis. As we said, fractions of a second are going to be what determines where these guys and girls end up on the grid tonight. And that brings them way too close in terms of the race itself.
Well, who do you think is going to win at home? Let us know in any of the YouTube chats, whichever one you're in the Twitch chats, of course. Head on over to twitch.tv/Grosjean Romain. So do it backwards and then boom in there. That's where all of the raffles and such are going to be taking part. And let us know who you think is going to be victorious a bit later on this evening. There's so many good names. We did say that Anjan Amathan is obviously quite a favourite within the chat. We've already said our bit for Mateusz Tuszkiewicz and Jakub Charkot. There are drivers like Govan Keeney on the list, though, and Gar Valero, who are well known for participating high up in many levels of sim racing, be it here on AC, be it over on ACC, be it on rFactor 2, be it on iRacing. This is an incredibly competitive grid. It is going to be very, very difficult to win, and you've got to keep your nose clean for basically the entirety of this race.
Yeah, 100%. And you can tell there, I'm sort of multitasking, listening to you here. I'm going to look at all the qualifying results coming in. And again, quite a few comments on the chat about showing us the grid and stuff like that. And we're keeping you waiting because this is like proper top tier stuff. I mean, I'm just looking at the times coming in, and it's scary. It's looking like we've got 0.3 of a second separating about seven drivers right now. It's going to be wild when we do get into this race.
Yeah, don't panic. We've not missed any of the race, by the way, as much as you are bored at looking at us two. I was going to throw in a couple of words there, but I think it was really appropriate.
Rude.
Throw David under the bus like that. But no, obviously we're waiting to go into the race at the moment as they're just finishing up qualifying, and we will head into it in a few moments' time. We'll get to see them battle their way out for the international final, the international cup here in the Predator Cup. So don't panic. You're not going to miss any of the on-track action. We will get to see the entirety of the 60-minute race, see them battle it out for the 2,500 euros, the ring, obviously the team entry as well, which would be pretty handy to go and join a team like that. For a lot of drivers, they take part in their sim racing teams to do it for a bit of enjoyment and stuff. To join a team like R8G, who we both know is an incredibly strong team in sim racing, be it again on any platform. They're one of the teams that's very, very multi-disciplined. In sim racing terms, we don't classify that as being, they can race touring cars and they can race GTs and stuff. What we mean by multi-disciplined is they're multi-platform. They can go across each of the different platforms and they are ready to go. Whilst we go to the start of the race, Romain Grosjean is standing by with the command.
I actually always dreamt of doing that, so I'm quite excited. Driver, start your engines.
Got to have a bit of fun with it. David, this is going to be tense.
It really, really is. The car's already on the grid there. It looks like we've got Kini Govan, Jacob Charcot right at the front, and all of the cars lined up there. Yeah, tension very much building. 60 minutes left to go. Lewis, I wonder what is going through the drivers' heads right now, basically.
Well, probably for quite a lot of them, it's maybe even a lack of experience. I know quite a lot of drivers are really kind of inexperienced with the AC platform, and that is going to, as much as it is quite old, they've just not really gotten to the fullest grips. That you're absolutely right, though. Govan Keeney has taken pole position with Charcot behind, then Tushkovic, then Merchant Solak directly behind that in the 4th position. But I mean, I don't know who our favourites are going to be for this race. It's not going to be an easy run. 60 minutes ahead. I just don't know who's going to win.
Yeah, I really, really don't know either. It's going to be way too close to call. We've obviously got our interest in terms of like drivers that we know, drivers that we're very familiar with, but I think there's way too many wildcards in this, way too many unknown entities. I honestly think this is going to be going right down to the last 10 minutes here.
Well, we are waiting for them to start the race. By my countdown, I think we might actually have a few minutes before they start rolling to begin the race. So they are all heading onto the grid. And like I say, it's Govan Keeney on that pole. He is going to be very strong. He's a very hard driver to beat. I distinctly remember, for anyone who joined the broadcast and stuff to watch at the start of the sim racing year with the Daytona 24 on iRacing, Govan Keeney, well known for doing a 10 and a quarter hour stint. That is way too long for me right from the start of the race and end up leading in quali. That's a very competitive field in that, one of the highest that you'll find in iRacing. And it just shows how good he is. He's going to be a very, very difficult man to beat, but he knows how to get his elbows out and sometimes even a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that is exactly it. It's all about being able to push it right to the edge, isn't it, Lewis? So we've seen that through many different championships where we've been chatting about it and doing commentary on. You have to have that killer instinct, and it's a thin line. We see drivers all the time going a little bit too far with that instinct and maybe pushing a little bit harder than they should. Race control very, very quick to clamp down on this sort of thing.
And they need to be as well. It's obviously we're racing around Silverstone here, so you'll see them race from the. It'll be a standing start from the F1 side, the typical side that you would expect them to start. Normally with GTs, I know we do start on the old start-finish straight, but it's the standard, the Grand Prix layout. So it's the run into Abbey, up through the loop, into the village loop, that kind of section before we go out through Aintree, down into Brooklands and stuff. A lot of great corners to overtake at. And a lot of very difficult corners to overtake at. That's one of the things that we love about Silverstone is that you can overtake into corners like Brooklands, but you have to work for it.
100%. I mean, look, often have we about this circuit. It is a real test of drivers' ability and the car as well. You know, depending on the type of car that they're going to be in, offers a very different challenge to the circuit. The likes of Maggots and Beckett's, that fast sweeping S section just before Chapel Park Curve and you get onto the Hangar Straight. That is where you make so much time up, because if you can get onto the back of another car in front of you, you're almost guaranteed a place going into Stowe. If you're that car that's in front, Lewis, it makes it so very, very hard to defend from that. So what we're going to see, I think, here over the next 60 minutes is almost a 3D chess match going on here. The amount of times that drivers are going to have to line these moves up 2, 3, 4 corners in advance and push things through.
It's kind of one of those things that it's like you say, chess. There's a lot of strategy around here. Not so much from the what you're going to do on fuel, what you're going to do on tyres, but more so from the how are you going to race. Exactly what you're saying there. You don't just make a move straight away. We'll take a look at the starting grid. Govankini will start from pole position with Jakub Charkot in second place. Then Mateusz Tuskovic and then Merchant Solak from fourth, the Turkish driver. Anton Amathan, who we know that you lot behind the scenes are really backing for this. Bruno Rodriguez alongside in sixth place. Gael Valero will start with Ahmed Garib starting from the 8th position. The final two inside the top 10, Adam Pilo and then Lukasz Prada starting from 10th. The two Czech drivers in 9th and 10th. Lucas Rode and then Tobias Olsen, who's been in sim racing for a very long time. I raced with him back in 2013-14. Fik Barber starts from 13th with William Jessamay starting from the 14th position. Torben Beshka will start. We're going to go straight onto the race though, because this is it, the Predator Cup for 2022, the international final racing here at Silverstone. We are underway. It is a great start from Govankini as they race down towards turn one. Mateusz Tuskovic instantly on the heavy defence on the rolling down into the first corner at Abbey, just trying to cut off Merchant Solak, but Govankini leading very comfortably right now into the heavy braking zone, down into the loop as we'll head our way through 2, 3, 4 wide, try and pick them out. It's very difficult. Gael Valero, Bruno Rodriguez going side by side up towards Aintree, but this is where things should get single file. He says that as they go 3 wide.
Unbelievable. Good luck to anyone trying to ID any of these cars here tonight, because this is an absolute melee as they end up coming down the back straight here, down in towards Brooklands as well. The thing with this is you saw that right at the start there, Lewis, 4, 5 cars wide going through. That is exactly what we're going to see for the next 10, 15 minutes until things calm down a little bit, and remarkably very, very well behaved. Very impressed at that.
Yeah, it's obviously a 60-minute race, so they've got plenty of time to do so. But what we'll see is we'll see them race very hard for the first, first sort of 5 minutes, and then things will calm down. They'll all go a little bit single file, or we'll start playing the long game. At least that's what we kind of expect from a race like this. It is Govankini leading from Jakub Charkot, from Mateusz Tuskovic, from Amathan, from Solak, from Valero, then Garib, then Prada. There's a bit of a switch coming down to Magnus Beckers and Chapel. Straight on there. I think that's Gael Valero being sent right over the inside to Beckett. So someone spun out as well through the background. Not sure who that was, but not great. I think it might be Rafael Lobato. Not sure.
I think that was Ufuk Baba actually in 11th place actually that got spun round, but nonetheless you've still got plenty of drivers baying for blood, waiting to take their place here. And I tell you what, really proud of the start. I think would Romain Grosjean be watching all of this. In fact, we'll probably check in with him very shortly to see what he made of everything that's happened just now. And that looks like that was Mercan Solak that went round there.
Yeah, I think it might well have been dropping right down the order, I do believe. But no, he's staying in 6th position at the moment. There you go, he's dropped down now. So I think you're absolutely right. A bit of a spin going through the Vale chicane. That was not great indeed. There is the driver that's in 2nd position at the moment. Jakub Charkot, Govankini directly ahead. Mateusz Tuskovic is being dropped by the top 2 at the moment. He's not quite got the pace to keep up. Amgen Amathan and Ahmed Garib are really keeping close to the rear end of Mateusz Tuskovic. It is a big lead from the top 2.
It certainly is, and what a start though. Kini Govando going really well with Jakub Charkot hard in chase there. But yeah, look, what a start to the race, and we have got a packed show, so much to get through tonight, so many raffles as well. And just a reminder, if you do want to get yourself involved in any of the raffles tonight, head over to Romain Grosjean's official Twitch page, Grosjean Roman at Twitch TV. But Lewis, we've got our first winner coming up very shortly.
Yes, indeed. Type in chat with Predator to try and take part. Romain Grosjean will be standing by. Let's have a little chat with you, good sir. What do you make of the start there?
Pretty good. I mean, you know, waiting on a grid is always the worst part. It's the same in real life. Once you wait for them to start the engine, it's a very stressful moment. But then engine starts. The start was pretty clean by all the guys. They did a good job. Few had a bit of a spin on the first lap. It's always tricky because you do want to make ground or not lose ground, because you know that if you're in the good train for the race, that's going to be a very different story. Looks like at the front it's going to be right now the 2 guys are pushing really hard. How much are they going to hurt their tires versus maybe someone that looks a little bit more after them in P3 and P4, but definitely high level there. A lot of respect, which is something that we with Predator put a lot of emphasis on. We wanted to have a clean battle on track and no dirty move. That was very important for all of us, because yes, as much as this is sim racing and you can press the escape button when you crash, we do want it to be as real as it is, or as it can be. And that's something that with RIG Esports we've been pushing since we joined sim racing a couple of years ago.
Well, I know we'll catch up with Romain Grosjean quite a lot throughout this evening, because you've got plenty of racing experience to speak of. But it is a 60-minute race. We'll have your opinion on a couple of moves later on. Lucas Rode in 7th position at the moment, with Lucas Prada directly behind. Whilst we're here, Romain, actually, why not? If you're a bit further down the order, the likes of Tobias Olsen, Ufuk Barber, etc., or you've had a spin early on, how do you kind of keep the mentality to sort of stay in the race?
Well, it's all about never giving up, right? Obviously, in real life, you hope for a safety car or something like that, so you can join the pack. It doesn't quite happen in sim racing, so it's just trying to optimize your pace. You've put a lot of effort and a lot of hours into getting ready for the finals, so everything you've learned, try to put it in place and get some really good pace. You can actually compare your pace through the race at the end with the winner, and maybe you were faster, maybe just maybe good enough for 3rd or 5th, but that gives you a lot of confidence going into your next event, because you had the pace in a very high level international final with top races out there. We've had, as you say, we've had some big names joining the competition, and that's really something we wanted. So yes, it's not ideal, but it's a good training just to stay in there and push as hard as you can.
Roman, it's David's in the commentary box here. I just wondered, are you taken back a little bit and surprised at the amount of preparation and practice that these sim racers put in compared to their real life counterparts?
Oh yeah, it's much worse than real life. Because you're not limited by tires or fuel, or it's just how much time you want to put in. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it with my professional driver, right? They spend a lot of time on practicing and getting things right. and it's very impressive. And you know, I was like, right now I was away for months and a half between the Indy GP race, the Indy 500 qualifying, the race. Then we went straight to Detroit and Road America. So I jumped in my sim and had a couple of laps, and I was terrible at it. I completely lost everything that I knew before. So I just, you know, I just need to get back into it, and it takes time. And I really like to take part in some good event with my guys. I enjoy the endurance racing just because, you know, it's maybe less about pure performance, but more about teamwork. And I like to share that with the guys on my team. I think that's one of the beauty of the sim racing. I'm in Miami. Some of the guys in Europe, we've got some drivers as well in America, and we all together able to have some fun. So that's super exciting.
Well, we'll let Romain Grosjean have a bit of a breather because he's going to be asked a lot of questions over this race. We'll focus back as to what is going on. It's a 1.3 second lead from Govind Kini right now. Jakub Charkot and Mateusz Tuskovic, everyone's separating themselves out a fair amount at the moment after the early bits of content. Bruno Rodriguez is trying to close in on Garib, but this is the big battle at the moment, David. You've got Tobias Olsen, you've got Ufuk Barber, you've got Solak. It's pretty tight here, especially for some of the likes of Solak, who have had an issue early on. They're already rising their way back up the order.
It's unbelievable because every single lap, as we see Baba going a little bit wide down in the club corner there, the problem is that every single lap that they're caught down here in that 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th position is every single lap that they're having taken off of their chance of winning this race right now. Kini Govind and Jakub Charkot currently doing 159s right now. Just to give you some ID further down, 7th, 8th and 9th, they're doing 2-minute laps just now, so they need to get past there if they're going to have any hope at moving their way up the field. And already with 50 minutes left to go, excuse me, it's a tall order. They have to keep pushing, and they have to push really, really hard.
Well, Ufuk Barber did drop back behind Solak there. It was going to drop behind Cifuentes, but that one was a solid no. Gael Valero is right there. He has so much experience. Look at that big dive to the inside. 3 wide. That was always going to end badly. My goodness me. What a send that was from Gael Valero. Straight down the inside. Makes contact with Ufuk Barber and Cifuentes. And the two of them are sent around.
Well, it's nice to see the F's in chat already from that one, Lewis. That was utterly predictable. And the problem is, I mean, I know I was saying you have to really push hard, but I think that might have been a little bit too hard there. But look, these things happen, unfortunately. You have to take your chances. Sometimes it works. If that would have worked, he would have been a massive hero, but it didn't. And we're left kind of scratching our heads and looking further down the order as well here. I mean, some of the names that are down here, Adam Pilo down in 16th position, Rafael Lobato down in 17th as well. I was expecting to see them up in the top 10 for sure.
Yeah, it's just how these races go when they're so competitive. The distances are minor between the groupings. It's kind of what we expect in a race like this that is so competitive that they don't really have much between them. The only gaps that are built are those that are sort of built in the early stage of the race, and then everyone kind of settles the same kind of rhythm. We'll go, though, back to Romain Grosjean in just a second because he's not going to be interviewed by us two. He's got someone a bit more up there in the sim racing world to interview him and join him in that set because Aiden Millward is standing by with Romain Grosjean. Never mind. We'll hold up with Aiden in just a second because he is just having a couple of technical difficulties on his side. But either way, the race at the moment is, like you say, it's kind of separated itself a little bit, but we do expect it to kind of separate and then come straight back together at the top.
Yeah, 100%, and this is exactly what we're seeing. This race is going to go right down to the wire. This is what I thought it was going to happen. The fact that you've got the top 5 all within 4 seconds, yeah, it's going to go right down to the wire, Lewis.
Well, whilst they're racing, again, let's go to Aiden now.
Hi. I hope this is working. Hi there, Roman. You recently did the Indy 500 this year. What was the concentration like with all that speed and all those other guys around you?
Yeah, it is something. You know, I watched it from Europe for many years and just thought it was easy. and it's just turning left, being full throttle all the time, and then you actually get to drive the track, and it's hard. I mean, it's 4 corners. They're all the same radius. They're all the same width. They're all the same banking. They're all the same tarmac, and they all feel different depending wind direction and the bumpiness, the track temperature. And I mean, it's fast. It's really fast. In qualifying, you're on the limit for 4 laps, and you know, when you have a good car like I did on Saturday on the first day of qualifying, I was like, yeah, that's easy. You know, that run was really nice and smooth. And then Sunday came, and we trimmed the car as hard as we could to try to have a shot at a good position on the grid. And I finished those 4 laps, and the first thing I told my engineer is like, I'm not going again. Whatever happened, I'm not going again, because that was absolutely on the limit. If you have time, go on YouTube. I put those laps on YouTube, and yeah, I had to lift. I'll have to lift the last 2 laps. That cost us some speed, but if I wouldn't do that, it wouldn't have finished laps. So quite exciting. And then the race, there's a lot of technicality. There's a lot of finesse. There's a lot of things you need to do right. You know, between your fuel saving and how you position your car, and how much of a run you get into someone, and how much the car is going to move. I mean, it's 500 miles. I only did 250 miles, but it's 500 miles. It's a super long race, and it's 5, 6, 7, 8 pit stops. So the car is going to change a lot during the race.
Well, we'll, I think, say goodbye to Aiden for a couple of moments. And again, big thanks to Aiden Millward for jumping in to ask a question to Romain Grosjean. He's not the only influencer to be doing so this evening. Plenty will jump along. And also, we showed off the Paris studio a bit earlier on. And we've got Martin van Lozenord, who'll be showing us around one of the rigs.
So welcome in the backstage of sim racing. So Martin, can you tell us a little bit more what it's all about?
Yeah, when you want to start sim racing, you will need a powerful PC to be able to run screens like this. You can pick a flat screen, but in my opinion, you can better have a curved screen to start off with, because it gives you better immersion. You would need a set of pedals and also a steering wheel. If you can mount this all on a table or something like that, but pedals like these are pretty powerful, and a wheel also. So in my opinion, you would need an aluminium rig to be able to hold it all together.
So it's very impressive. It looks very pro. What about the screen? I mean, there is a single screen, triple screen. What is your preferences?
I'm using a triple screen at home, just because when you're racing side by side, you want to see right next to you what's happening. It's all close racing, so you don't want to push anyone off the track on purpose or whatsoever. So I felt like I was limited with a single screen, and with a triple screen, I'm feeling a lot better and I'm more confident on track.
So at the moment you are in the pit lane of Silverstone. So please join the track. For sure, we are not in the race, so
No.
won't be able to crash anyone of the race. People can just have a look how impressive it is. You know, it's not like just having a console and a controller. Is it physical? I mean, those pedals are just crazy, I think.
Yeah, they're strong pedals, and it's definitely physical, physically exhausting when you have to do like an hour race.
How many kilos do you put on the pedals?
You can put like 100 kilos, and some pedals go to 200 kilos. It's just like in real life.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, you know, they are not gaming. It's just you are like, when you see you are like a pro driver with the seat. Looks like a GT car. And what about the steering wheel? Do you have a force feedback?
Yeah, there's force feedback in it. Back in the days, we all started off with a controller, and the force feedback on a steering wheel will give you the precise feedback you need, whether a car is having oversteer or understeer. You will feel everything in your steering wheel because of the force feedback.
Okay, and you just have the gearbox with the pedal, like in real life as well. Many of the racing car right now.
Indeed.
Yeah, it's crazy. Martin is an absolute mega sim racer. You finished runner-up last year of the Dallara Year 01. So how many hours did you put in front of the screen?
Oh, that's I don't even know how many hours I put into sim racing to be able to compete at this level. Level in sim racing nowadays is so high you would need to put like 40 hours a week to be able to be competitive with the top of the world. So yeah, definitely. I was runner-up. I definitely wanted to win. I think I was capable of winning the championship, but maybe like next year.
Yeah, some people can wonder if some of the sim racers are a moving rig, and I don't think you have.
No, in my opinion, a moving rig, they have the slightest delay in it, and the last thing you want, in my opinion, is delay. You want everything. You want high refresh rates. You want yeah, you want your screen to be fast. You want your equipment to be good, to get every last tenth out of your lap.
Yeah, it's great. It's quite small at the end of the day. It's not taking a lot of space. Or where is it in your home?
I've got like 2 bedrooms, so I've got 1 bedroom all for sim racing, with a nice checkered flag and everything on the ground. So yeah, pretty good. Yeah. But it also would fit in your living room if that's. If the wife allows it.
It's very, very impressive. I hope you guys enjoy what Martin is doing. You know, that's exactly what sim racing is. It's a real, they are athletes, I have to say, at the end of the day. You are not just only gamers. You are a driver.
Thank you.
And a great driver. So Martin is driving this Silverstone Predator track, going into Cops, which is a famous corner for Formula 1. Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. Has a couple of memories there.
It's flat out in F1.
Yeah. Do you enjoy Assetto Corsa?
Yes, I like it.
What's the difference between Assetto and most of the other platforms?
I think Assetto is really good in the giving the force feedback. So it's telling me pretty good and really accurate what the car is doing. If it has snap oversteer, I'm able to catch the slide really quick, and I think just on the tires, Assetto Corsa is working out really good, especially with the new Assetto Corsa. When you have the rain and everything, they really pulled off a good show with that game on realism.
It's crazy. I'm sure a lot of people are jealous. So if you want to be a sim racer, if you want to start in sim racing, here is what you need, but we will go back a little bit later in Paris just to explain, to give you a couple of advice how to start your sim racing career and why not one day be part of RAG. So now I think it's time.
Yes, we will find out about the how to get into sim racing, because for me, I really want to know that. Not only for the fact that I've been in sim racing for 9 years, but also to learn from the very best. You saw it there in twitch.tv/Grosjean Romain, obviously Romain Grosjean backwards with second name first. Then it is, of course, your time to win one of these. We can get yourselves a good old shirt, which we are wearing. There are plenty more giveaways though through all of this. So if you did miss out, yeah, there's plenty more opportunity, but you type Predator into chat to put yourselves in with a chance to win something like this. It'd be fantastic to see. But again, Go Vankini still very comfortably leading at the moment, David. David has muted himself. Classic David right there. He won't unmute himself. It's fine. It's just God, this is terrible.
It's fine. It's all good. And what I was saying is that they might win one like this, but they're not winning this one, because this one is just not happening whatsoever. Goodness me.
You don't want to win this one.
Well, no, not after I've been winning it. But anyway, yeah. So Jacob Charcot still in the lead of the race then. Or rather, sorry, Govan in the lead of the race, because we've got the pits that are open, so we're going to have our pit stops coming up very, very soon. The thing is, though, is that gap still is, you've got those 4 drivers still within that 5 seconds. So, like I said, I mean, it's still way too close to call.
Yeah, and it's a little bit tricky as to when you really want to pit. You don't really want to pit straight away, surely. You kind of want to leave it a little bit later. But either way, a couple of them come in. I saw Josime came in the pit lane straight away. Long pit lane around here, isn't it?
It's not exactly short, is it? you know you're going to be going. You definitely don't want to be going down there by accident. Put it that way, Lewis. That's definitely going to be a fail, or even worse, getting a drive-through penalty for any infringements, which thankfully we've not seen yet. But I mean, again, I'm just looking on down the back end of the grid here, and I'm still surprised at some of the names that are down there.
Well, we've got more standing by. Again, everyone wants to ask questions to Romain Grosjean today because hopefully standing by it is Dave Gaming.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Ask away.
Yeah, Roman, thank you very much for answering my question. So, is there something that you would consider a very special memory for Silverstone? Something very remarkable?
Hey, hi, Dave. That's a good question. I like it. Yes, I've got a lot of memories in Silverstone. That's where I actually drove a Formula One car for the first time ever. It was back in 2008. It was in a Stowe circuit. So within the circuit, there's a small circuit in between the paddock and Maggotts, Becketts, and turn 1 and 2, the new ones. So I did a couple of laps there. And then I must say that in 2012, I had to change the front wing after the start of the race, and came back through the field. So I was 20th and went back all the way up to 6th or 5th, I can't remember, and overtook Jenson Button into Maggotts and Chapel. I overtook Lewis Hamilton into Copse. The car was just flying, and I was passing everyone into amazing places, and I thought that was super cool.
That both sounds great. What car was it in 2008?
It was the Renault. So it was a Renault Formula One. It was the 2007 car, though, so we had to run with a year-old car for the demo at the World Series by Renault Days that I was going to do a little bit later this year. And then in 2012 was the Lotus. Was it the E20, I believe, maybe? It was the Lotus, black and gold Lotus that we had in 2012 with next to Kimi Räikkönen.
Yeah. Thank you very much. And what do you think? Who is going to win? And are you maybe also cheering for the German drivers, maybe?
Yeah. I mean, I'm really impressed by every driver that's been out there. I think Govan is doing a good job right now. It's just open a 2-second lead, but Tiskzi in third place is coming back nicely. I was last year. I remember I was racing for the final. Myself and Gael Valerio was up there. So some of the guys were already here, which I'm happy to see that they came back. That means that they really enjoyed the event a year ago, and it's good to see that they're coming back. But no, the pit sequence is open, and that's gonna change a lot of things.
Oh yes. Yeah, I also enjoyed very much. I was also here last year, so thank you very much for having me.
My pleasure.
Well, it is to Dave Gaming. We're going to throw straight down to Paris.
Yes, a couple of cool prices. So look at it. Martin, back to you. So you show us what is a sim rig. Can you give us a little bit of advice? How everything started for you?
Everything started for me back in the days. I think it was 2014. I started with racing Gran Turismo on the PlayStation, and I did that with a controller. After that, I went to different platforms to compete at higher levels, and yeah, during the time I improved my equipment.
Same for you, Andre. Very quick sim racer, quite young, not the same generation. Sorry about that. How everything started from your side?
Yeah, I'm doing sim racing for 4 years now. I started it 2018 with a Assetto Corsa on a really cheap setup, to be honest. I don't know, I spent like 200 euros or so for it, and was driving on my desk in my bedroom on a rolling chair. Which
rolling
was
chair?
Yeah.
So you put 100 kilo on the rolling chair?
Yeah,
so you finish in the cellar, or?
No, not 100 kilo, it was a bit less. Yeah, but it was quite difficult with the rolling chair, and also on a single screen back in the times, and improved the setup then with more professionalism and stuff, yeah.
That's crazy. What was the key moment? Where do you think you started to believe I can be a pro driver and earn some money?
When I did some, when I started to do really good lap times, and when I met some people, who were great in setup work and everything, I felt like I could be, I could be better than what I was, and I got in touch with RAG, and luckily Romain let me in.
Same for you. Is there any key moment where you say, okay, it's not just a hobby, but I can do my career?
Yeah, the key moment was when I switched to iRacing. It got more professional, also with some more investment into the setup, and that was my personal key moment. And yeah, came to RAG then at the beginning of the year as well. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. There is a couple of raffles live from Paris. So sorry, I hope it's the good price. Yeah, it's the T-shirt. No, it's the cap. It's my fault. So here is the cap. So it's time to type Predator into the chat, and then we will have a couple of other words, like the car miniature from. And we will be back in Le Mans this year for sure. A watch, nice watch, and some racing gloves. Yeah, I think it's time to type Predator into the chat. Just a couple of last questions. The guys watching us, is the last advice give them? Where do you feel to start, just to dream of being a pro?
Never think you're quick enough. There's always time to beat. There's always time to gain. Put all your effort into sim racing if you feel like you have the talent, and work very hard for it. You will get there.
Andre?
Exactly the same. Yeah, you can never push enough. There's always something you can achieve, and yeah.
It's like everything in life. Believe in your dream. Look, those guys. Now they are professional sim racers for Romain Grosjean. And sometimes you're on the grid with Romain, Max Verstappen. It's a crazy life.
It's incredible, for sure.
So a lot of fun, yeah.
A lot of fun? Hope so. So a lot of fun with track as well. And let's go back to the racing track.
I do like catching up with actually decent sim racing drivers, because unfortunately, David, we're not that good.
I'm sorry, I take offence at back in the day being 2014.
It
I'm
was
sorry.
back in the day.
Us OGs, right? Listen, it's not back in the day until it's 2005 and you're on Live for Speed and you're using a keyboard and mouse, son. That's back in the day. That's back in my day.
Oh, well, there's been a retirement from Rodriguez, who was up the order. Pit lane entry from Martin Solak. Obviously, we're in the pit lane sequence, so a few drivers are coming into pit lane anyway. But interesting, there's been a retirement for Rodriguez. I think it was in 5th position at the time. And I'm sorry, but 2015, 14, 13. It's back in the day. It's back in the day, sim racing. In fact, actually, I made my sim racing debut around here on July the 2nd, 2013. There you go.
It's okay, fair enough. What I will say though is Assetto Corsa, right? Can we just take it a second to appreciate the fact that we're competitively racing a sim from back in the day, as you would say, and it still looks absolutely great. It still handles wonderfully, and let's face it, it is a brilliant little sim. I think that really speaks volumes to the guys at Kino Simulation for everything that they've done.
I mean, to be fair, it's aged well. I mean, I've always kind of said that it's harsh to say, because especially when it first came out, AC was a bit not great online, shall we say, and it was a hot lap simulator where you could just basically load up any track, any car, and it would just work brilliantly. It's kind of what makes it so good, and it's because it looks quite good, and you kind of get really immersed very quickly as well. When we saw the sim rig being shown off by Martin van Loosenoord a little bit earlier on in this broadcast, you really got a vibe as to how good it is just to jump in and just have a bit of fun with basically whatever track, whatever car track combo you want.
Exactly, and that was what I loved about it, the fact that you could just, for me, Nordschleife every single day of the week, and you could take anything you wanted. I mean, that's where we've got the likes of Jimmy Broadbent made his jump to stardom with all the videos about taking crazy cars around the Nordschleife and all those fantastic tracks there. So yeah, look, I love AC to this day, even onto the chill servers, like when you've got the open world maps and stuff. So yeah, anyway, enough blethering. Let's get back to the race, because as we said, Kini Govans still in the lead ahead of Jacob Sharkot. We were saying that the Polish double act were going to be ones to watch out for. But yeah, I think that Keeney is doing a ridiculously good job out there, and it's not like he's just lucked his way in. He's definitely out there on pure pace alone.
Yeah, indeed. Now, everyone please, because if there's anything that's being given away in the raffles today, it's not happening just yet. This is why we're going to get ahead of it as here comes the move from Church House, by the way, straight down the inside. A little move there down into Brooklands. But go over to twitch.tv/Grosjean Roman, because the next raffle is one of these. Now, this was shown off by Thibaut in the studio, though, a miniature of the Le Mans virtual car, the Dallara P2 that they had in the season, which now, don't get me wrong, they finished in the top 5 in the championship in that, and also on the back of the box you can see loads of great faces. Romain Grosjean himself, Han Yajowski, who else have we got on there? We've got Job van Uytert and stuff. Great box, great little model. That, if there is anything in that box, that is the thing that I'm like, that is a properly cool little prize.
I love it. It's going straight on my windowsill, front and center. It makes such a nice little display as well. There's so much work gone into it. It just makes a beautiful, beautiful little eyepiece. But more importantly, the point being, if you want to get in for a chance to win it, you have to go over to Romain Grosjean's Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Grosjean Roman, to get yourself in with a chance of winning it.
Big crash there from Tom Church House.
That didn't go to plan, did it?
No, we have had some pitters, by the way. So Govan Keeney has been into the pit lane. Jakub Charkot, Mateusz Tushkovic, Derrick. We're halfway through the race, right? So this is exactly where we'd expect quite a lot of the drivers and teams to be in pit lane. It does mean that Solak, who pitted earlier than everyone else, has been able to rise his way an awful long way up the order, going for the proper undercut on the tyres. And boom! Made a whole heap of progress. Was kind of struggling to be about 11th spot before the pit stop.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that is a turn for the books as well. And the thing is this is exactly what you need. With 26 minutes left to go in the race here, as we've got our next raffle underway. So get ready to type Predator in chat. Remember, it's only on Romain Grosjean's official Twitch channel that you can do it. Type Predator in the chat, and you'll get a chance to win our fantastic little diecast model. But yeah, look, this is all it's about. You could be the fastest driver in the world, Lewis, but if you've not got Lady Luck on your side, it's all going to count for nothing.
Yeah, and like I say, you need to keep your nose clean, and sometimes pitting early, sometimes pitting late. It's not easy to work out what the strategy is, but when you've done all the practice and stuff, you kind of should know. But even then, this is kind of one of those things. In a race like this, there might be the perfect place to go for a pit stop. Let's say, for example, it's an hour race like this, and you worked out that because of fuel and tyres and whatever, it's actually faster to pit at minute 25 and then take advantage of fresh tyres for a longer period, etc. Taking advantage of that. But realistically, that's not always the case. You've got to react to the race itself. We will be heading back down to Paris once again. Have a little bit of a tech talk on some of the Predator gear.
Indeed, Lewis. As Martin said, it's very technical esports. It's not gaming at the end of the day. It's pure racing. So we need monsters to face the competition. So hello, Ivano.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hi,
Thank you very
everyone.
much. Predator Gaming is the main technical partner of RAG. We wouldn't be able to win races without you. So can you just give us a little bit of insight on the monsters we need to do sim racing?
Sure, definitely. This is the basically Predator lineup, starting with desktop. This is the Orion 7000, our powerhouse. But then we also have a notebook, actually, because gaming and sim racing is not only desktop, but now can be notebook as well. Nowadays, this device can provide very, very powerful performances, and you can be able to play esports on notebook as well. To give you the idea, this is the Triton series, so thin and light notebook, while this is the Helios series, which is more a desktop replacement. And to put it in a context for the occasion, this will be similar to a LMP2 car, while this is going to be more like a Koenigsegg Jesko, for instance. And now, instead of going through all the details one by one, like the classic and boring car review, I will go more in detail to the features that are very helpful for the actual sim racing. So, starting from the CPU. The CPU is powered from Intel 12th generation. We go up to Intel Core i9. You know that CPU is vital to calculate the physics of the car and the track. So in order to get the realistic feeling, a powerful CPU is very, very important. Then we have GPU from NVIDIA. We go up to RTX 3090 on desktop and RTX 3080 Ti on the notebooks. GPUs are vital to reach a decent amount of FPS. You know that the higher the FPS you reach, the better you have the feeling of the speed, and you can really fine-tune the driving style based on what is happening in the track. Especially then, if Martin said before, you are having a 3-panel setup, the powerful GPU is really, really relevant. On top of that, there's one important feature, which is actually cooling. So cooling, just like in a real race car, is very important, because the lower you can get with the temperature, there you can go with race. So starting with that, you can actually see the cooling, which is 3 big fans, also liquid cooling inside in this case. While instead of the notebook, we have Aeroblade 5th generation. We have also liquid cooling, liquid metal on CPU and GPU, and this helps to keep lower the temperature, and this basically means that you will be able to relation in order to improve your driving style and nail that specific corner that you need to improve the lap time at the end of the training session.
Romain is racing with, and believe me, when we enter Le Mans Virtual, we need to have those kind of monsters in terms of cooling as well. And with those tools, it's really nice to do a lot of content for the team, for the skin, for example. Skins are very important in sim racing. Yep. So we are pretty well equipped. Thanks a lot. But like in Formula 1, it's a bit of technical war, so we need to keep update and keep pushing. Definitely. So we push together.
Definitely.
Thank you. Let's go back on track. What is happening, Lewis?
Yes, indeed. Well, the pit stops are well in effect, and also I do fancy one of those computers, please. They're very, very impressive bits of kit. Of course, some of the drivers and teams that have been into the pit stop as Adam Pilo's going around the outside of, I think that's Lucas Prada, but it was actually Alessandrini just making that move was Pilo, who obviously was sent off going through Magnus Beckerson Chapel a bit earlier on, right at the start of this race. But Govan Keeney, who has a 1.6 second lead over Charcot, yes, he's 3.5 down on Valero, but he's well in control of this race right now.
Yeah, he really is. Valero's obviously out of sequence with the pit stops here, and Govan Keeney, I mean, what a race this has been so far. As I said, we were talking up the efforts from the Polish pair earlier on, but yeah, brilliant start to the race, and that's what I think has secured this so far. I mean, we've still got, goodness knows, 20 minutes left to go in this race, Lewis, but it was that start, it was that solid, clean, fast start that got him into where he is just now. So great effort so far, and great to hear how it's going for him.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a bit of work to do. I think, Guile Valero has yet to come into the pit lane, but either way, leading the race at the moment by 2.7 seconds. Govan Keeney will want to just get past anyway to continue leading. There is Guile Valero, your race leader. Is he going to pit in this time by? I don't believe so. I think might just stay out for a little bit longer, might have fueled it up a bit more than everyone else. Unless maybe he did pit very, very early in this race. I'm not 100% sure. It wouldn't. Guile Valero is not someone who I would assume would be, because if you account for the pit stop as well, and then you'd be like 30, 40 seconds back, Guile Valero is not a driver that I would expect would be that far back this early. I mean, still, we're only 40 minutes into a race like this.
Yeah, I'm not thinking that he has actually gone into the pits just now. That's, for me, that's the only reason that he's come through from the back of the grid to get there. So Grosjean, though, essentially, as you said, still in charge. And look at how quickly he's closing down at this at a rate of knots. 20 minutes left to go. The pace is still absolutely incredible from that first four. And yet again, I hate to keep banging the drum here, but they are still fairly close. Yes, the gap has gone out considerably after the pit stops, Lewis, but I mean, that's still 10 seconds for the top four. We've seen races decided by much more than that.
Yeah, exactly. And like I say, there isn't that long realistically left. You can see how much of the tyres are being used on the exit of Luffield. It really is a part of the circuit where you do open up the usage of the tyres. As you open up the steering, you keep that throttle absolutely buried. Here's Marcin Solak on the attack of Tobias Olsen, the Swede, who's going to go all the way around the outside. Solak, the Turk, trying to make the move stick at Brooklands, leaving the nose in, heading into Luffield. Super bit of racing between these two, and Tobias Olsen is going to hang on.
Yeah, but it keeps the foot in, and it can't quite happen. Mercan Solak there. It's all about that run down through Woodcote and then down into Copse Corner, a corner that I'm going to put my hands up here right now, Lewis, and say I absolutely destroy. I am so bad at Copse Corner. 100% track limit excursion every single time if I don't spin the car, and it's such a difficult corner as well, because trying to gauge that looked severely like a little bit of a, what we call in the business, a bit of a love tap there.
Yeah, and they've got to worry as well because Roder's in the mix as well for this fight. 6th, 7th and 8th, all battling it out very hard. 20-odd seconds behind the top 5 at the moment. They're just battling it out lovely right now. But Solak's got to worry about Rode, because Rode is looking straight down the inside. Wasn't able to stick that one. This is actually very difficult. I mean, to be fair, all of them around Silverstone are pretty tough, aren't they?
They really are. And Lewis, I mean, we've seen it time and time again as Lucas Rhodes having a little look up the inside there of Solak. Can't quite make that happen. Beautiful cutback though. That is exactly how you do it. Clean, crisp. That was proper textbook. And Mercan Solak there absolutely mugged.
That was just perfectly read and perfectly played by Rhodes right there, because I mean, how else can you fight that when someone plays you like that? Absolutely beautiful bit of driving there from Rode, and like I say, Solak was just kind of backed out. Gael Valero though, this is for the lead of the race. Gael Valero is under attack right now from Grosjean, who's looking to the outside going into Copse. He's going to send it on the brakes. A little bit of contact between the two. Grosjean straight around the outside. He's abusing the outside curb just like David Christie would, but Grosjean is still going for the race lead. Side by side down to Magnus Beckers and Chappell around the outside. Super move from Grosjean. He's been looking faster and faster and faster, and he now has the lead back again.
I'm sorry, that is absolutely outrageous. What a move from Grosjean there. And have a look at the background though, because that fighting has actually brought Jacob Charcot right back up to the back ends of them here, and this is getting way closer than I think we imagined.
Well, I know that Romain Grosjean is going to be interviewed a little bit later on, or quite soon. But I still think, it's good to bring him in every now and then to this broadcast, as Jacob Charcot's going to go around the outside, potentially leaves it to the inside, going through the Vale chicane, just trying to get past Gael Valero. Still side by side. Valero's just able to hang on to second spot, and this is just helping Grosjean right now pull away. Roman, if you're still there, tell us about the move there that Grosjean did and your thoughts of it.
Yeah, awesome. That was really good. I mean, there's a good battle. Obviously, Valero's being off sequence. I was hoping that Shaka would get with Grosjean to get a bit of a fight for the lead here. But Valero's doing a good job at securing that second position. I think it still has to pit, so it's gonna fall down the order. But definitely good racing, just the way we like to see. Just the way it is in real life, to be fair. You set up your move, you prepare your move, you set up the guy, and then, look on the outside, look at the inside, try and cut back. It's been very respectful and really good racing.
Now, Grosjean, this is surely like his to lose right now. How do you kind of keep yourself calm? I mean, even from a real world perspective in races and stuff, how do you keep yourself calm in a race like that when you know it's yours to lose?
Yeah, you have to. You don't have a choice, right? You have to stay cool. You have to keep it under control. It's obviously you want to pass, but if you end up in the grass or the gravel, it's game over. So it's always about finding that sweet spot, that limit of what you can do and cannot do, what you accept of doing, which risk you're ready to take versus which risk you're not ready to take. But definitely Valeo has been doing an incredible job keeping Charco behind. He's I think he's losing a little bit too much time here because he's got to pit later. But good racing here.
It is really super. Thank you, Romain. We'll catch up with you in a few moments' time because Jakob Charcot is going around the outside of Stowe. Brilliant move from Jakob Charcot. Hello to that one. Guy Valero, I think he's struggling on. I think he might have actually pitted very, very early in this race and is just struggling with where his tyres are. Also, we did have the giveaway open up there for the watch. So again, twitch.tv/Grosjean Romain to grab yourselves a watch, which would be pretty handy. Again, Predator chat. We have said goodbye to Romain Grosjean, but we're going to drag him straight back in to get interviewed by Fialafar.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Roman. So I have a question from my community. There's a lot of people out there, young people, that drives a lot on the simulator, and I assume some of them would like to see if they can use it in the real world. So the question is, how would you compare real racing with sim racing? Would you say that a sim racer can potentially transfer his skills on the PC to the real world, like we've seen with drifting?
Oh yes, absolutely. I believe that some of the guys on sim racing, not all of them, but some of them, and we watch in the team within RG. We look at every telemetry, and from the telemetry I can tell you who may be able to be good in real life versus not. Sim racing has gone a long way, and it's very impressive now what we can get on the platform. We all have our preferences. Is it that Sequel Corsa? Is it that racing? Is it that Factor 2? I personally really enjoy our Factor 2 a lot. I think it's just the one that represents maybe the car the best way on certain modes. But the telemetry, the way you brake, the way you have to release the brake, you go in a corner, it's getting there. Obviously, it is a bit different than real life. If not, you would see all the real drivers winning everything on simulator, and that's not the case. Like I can't catch up with my guys in the team. They're much faster than I am. And I'm pretty successful in real life. So there's still some differences, but definitely we've got some guys that are sim racers and going in Formula 4 and doing a really good job. So that's something that I'm trying to do. That's something that I'm definitely trying to push hard, is to find next talent through sim racing, because it is much cheaper than karting. It teaches you good driving, good technique, and I think that there's a room for guys to jump into real life from sim racing.
That's interesting. So there's hope for me.
Thank you.
Years old. Thank you for the opportunity.
Lovely to hear more interviews towards Romain. We do have a couple more to go, and again with the giveaways, which the next one will open up, and the final one will open up fairly soon. Did want to talk though again, the last one that we just had was for the watch. Next one coming up will be for some lovely gloves as well. Superb amount of stuff, and to be fair, we've all got all of it here. I'm definitely never sending any of this back. This is mine now.
Oh, 100%. These are getting kept. Can I just say, right, everything else has been amazing, but these gloves, oh my God, you're definitely going to want to get yourself entered in for them. Pair of Alpine Star gloves on the go for them. Yeah, they are going to be absolutely amazing. You can't quite see it because of my green screen here, but honestly, properly nice. Yeah, get them done. So it's safe to say, Lewis, that we're not sending them back.
No, absolutely not. I am using those. They're very good. A nice little case of them as well, which actually you do also have a great case for the watch. It's all a very well prepared kit, ready to go for all of you, whilst all the racers are battling for their own prizes, which is fair enough. It's always great to have a broadcast where we've got enough for the viewers as well. Again, head over to twitch.tv/Grosjean Romain for to get involved in the chat. That is where the giveaway is happening. So get over there to be prepared to type Predator into chat.
Yeah, just a final point on those gloves as well. Just a reminder that the gloves are actually signed by Romain Grosjean as well. So yeah, very cool little addition to that one. It makes it difficult because it's like, do you use it? Or do you actually want to sort of keep them for yourself? Just calm down. Just it's not started just yet. Okay, we know that you're keen to get them. I've maybe oversold them. I'm wondering if maybe I should get like a little night job on some sort of shopping channel here with how well I've just sold them. But it's not active right now just yet. There you go. It's active now. Spam away.
That's now you can spam. We were seconds early. We were just bigging up. We were making sure that you were in the right place at the right time to be ready to fill the chat. Gal Valero, by the way, has been into the pit lane, by the way. So Gal Valero has been into pits and has come out in 5th to finish his required stop. Bit of a move around the outside from Adam Pilo to try and get past Tobias Olsen, leaves him on the inside going into the 4th corner on the circuit as we head out onto the Wellington Straight.
Yeah, beautiful move there. Still side by side, though, Lewis. This is the one thing that's really, really impressed me tonight. And we've worked together time and time again here. And I wish every race was as hard fought and as respectful and really, really top tier as we've seen tonight. I've never seen this where we see the likes of Tobias Olsen and Adam Pilo. And we saw it as well from Valero, side by side, and still absolutely not given an inch here. Mega stuff. I am loving what we're seeing tonight.
8 minutes plus 1 lap to go. There is not long left in this race. Our race leader has a solid 4 second leaders. Go Vankini back here. It is not quite as comfortable. Pilo's got Tobias Olsen, has got Lucas Prada as well, right in this battle for 8th spot. It is super tight right now. Incredibly close for 8th position. They are not relaxing one bit in this race down here, which I am all for.
It's absolutely brilliant, isn't it? And the thing is that Tobias Olsen, the fact that he's a couple of tenths behind Pilo now, that all started at Cops. You saw a little wiggle as he took a little bit too much curb on the inside of that right-hander there, and that's what lost him speed. That's how these battles are won and lost. It's madness to think that one corner can sort of push you back all that way here, but he catches right back onto the tail end of Pilo in just another couple of corners time. Valero there coming back out of the pits. Valero though, I mean, I am stunned to see him get back all the way up into 5th place after that excellent early effort. So he's done a really good recovery drive after a very difficult race. But I have got to go Vankini looking very good. 6.5 minutes left to go in this race, and he is out there in front.
Well, another one to have some questions sent down to Romain Grosjean. And of course, I said before, we've had the likes of Aiden Millward, Dave Gaming, as well as Fialfa a little bit earlier on. But we now have Maxime standing by to ask a couple of questions. Microphone's muted on Discord at the moment, so just be aware of that. And then you can ask away.
Hello. There we are. So thanks for having me. This is pretty cool. So, you still have your F1 Mercedes test coming up. Do you want to drive like the newest car with the porpoising, or would you prefer like a champion winning car, steady and smooth?
Hey Maxim, I mean, it's a good choice to have, isn't it? There's worse decision to be made. I think the rule is that if you do a test like I would do, which is a day of testing out of competition, it has to be a 2-year-old car. So right now I will be looking at a 2020 Mercedes. I think that's the one with the DAS. So it could be pretty cool, and it's the fastest ever Formula 1 car. Because 2021, the rules have changed a little bit and the floor were cut, so they had a little bit less downforce. I've seen Toto in Miami GP, and he told me that the test was going to happen. I told him that it was 100% my fault that we haven't done it yet. I haven't been able to get dates to go back to Europe from USA. We're racing every other week, or every week we're racing in IndyCar until September. I'll be in Montreal this weekend for the Canadian Grand Prix, so I'll see them again. But I know Mercedes has been really keen. I know they kept their words. It's really my fault that the test hasn't happened. So I would take the 2020 over the 2022 because that porpoising or bouncing or whatever it's named doesn't look good at all.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to see you drive the 2020 car, and good luck with that and have fun. And yeah, you're super busy, so yeah, it will be, I don't know when it will happen, but for sure it will happen.
Yes, exactly.
Well, cheers to Maxime. We'll let him go. Let of course, Romain Grosjean go as well for at least for a few moments time. We're into the final 5 minutes of this race. And Govankini is well in control right now. Charcot in second, Amathan in third. He managed to jump Matej Tuskovic through the pit lane sequence. Gael Valero out in a little bit of no man's land. Is essentially 30 seconds in a bit of an air bubble. It's 20 seconds ahead to Tuskovic and about 8 seconds back to Roda, then Solak, and then Pilo, Prada, and this little battle. Tobias Olsen, who's jumped up the order through the pit lane sequence, has been dropping backwards. I think maybe he's gone a little bit too aggressive on the tyres, David.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what's happened here. And again, that's one point we've not really spoken about at all, is these Lamborghini GT3 cars at all, Lewis, is the fact that, you know, incredibly tricky cars to drive, very, very twitchy, very, very prone to suffering from snap oversteer. And yet we've seen none of that tonight, all incredibly under control from these drivers here. And that's been the one thing that we've not really seen too much of at all. And I was expecting that with 24 drivers, I was expecting to see a little bit more in terms of chaos, a little bit of carnage here and there. But yeah, I mean, it's been a fantastic race, and I think every single driver, no matter where they finished, can definitely hold their heads up high after a brilliant race tonight.
Yeah, like I say, it's been dominant at the moment from Govankini, but it is, we've seen it before in sim racing. Dominance is one thing, but it's so easy to drop it on the final lap. I think Govankini's experienced enough in sim racing. He's been doing sim racing for well over a decade, so yeah, he's no slouch. As a part of the Bila Racing squad at the moment, and typically races over in iRacing. Not seen him too much in these parts. I don't see him outside of his comfort zone of iRacing too often. Used to race an awful lot on the likes of Race 07 and R-Factor 1 back in the day, so a little bit up your street. I'm absolutely sure, and I have no doubt that he's done some LFS, so that'll please you somewhat.
Listen, you're not a sim racer until you've tried Blackwood GP, son.
I've never tried LFS.
Race 07, my goodness me, that takes me back a bit, back to what the likes of WTC and STCC and that.
Yeah, which I did play a lot of. I never did LFS though. Never played LFS.
You're missing out. You're missing.
I'm apparently, yeah, no. As I get told by the likes of Dennis Lind almost all of the time that I need to go and play LFS constantly. But each to their own. Adam Pilo trying to attack Solak right now. Just no way to pass. It is difficult to make some moves, but we've seen plenty this afternoon, so it's almost a bit harsh to say. It's no excuse.
Well, yeah, but the other thing as well is what we have seen all evening tonight, Lewis, is the fact that, again, respect seems to be the big thing. And it almost sounds like we're a little bit surprised by this because we don't get to see this so often here. But that's exactly what the drivers have all been doing tonight. It's all been a case of they'll go for a move if they think and only if they're sure that they can actually get it done. There's none of this just send it from 15,000 miles away and hope that it sticks, because we saw that maybe once earlier on tonight, but in an entire 60-minute race, we're used to seeing some proper calamity. So yeah, brilliant stuff. How much is it worth to Adam Pilo? He's not going to get into the top 5 with this. It's just going to be up to 7th position. So how hard do you want to push this?
It would have to be quite a send to get down the inside of Gael Valero, but I don't think he's quite. By quite a send, I mean he'd have to send it literally 10 seconds down the road. So I'm not so sure about that one. With it being 30 seconds plus 1 lap to go, and it being on the wing on the Hamilton straight where the start finish is for this, it does mean we're going to get 2 more laps. Adam Pilo into the rear end of Solak just a little bit, but nothing too much. I think he's definitely going to be eyeing up a move on the run down here. Going through Aintree onto the Wellington straight, got to stay quite close. I don't feel this is close enough to really make anything stick going down to Brooklands. We ride on board with Adam Pilo, and you can see for sure that is not close enough.
Not anywhere near close enough to the back of Solak there, but Pilo, I mean, he will get another chance here, especially on the run down to Copse Corner. The thing with it as well is that there's so many opportunities that he's got. I think it was that little nudge at the rear end of Solak that actually ended up costing him time there, and you can see Solak going very defensive. He knows what's up.
It's more so he's trying to break the slipstream a little bit there on the run into Copse as well, and trying to pick his line way before they get there. Obviously, you don't want to be turning in with such a tight angle. A few drivers will tell you that one with a good bit of racing around here. You don't want to go in too tight into T1, and Solak is feeling the pressure right now. Adam Pilo is all over the rear end, and this is the best opportunity. Govankini has begun the final lap of this race. He's heading through the first sector now. We'll head back to him in a little while. Adam Pilo's about as close as he's going to get. Looks to the inside, more so to fill the mirrors going into Stowe, and there was no move there. Fail chicane, I'm still not feeling it either. It's just there, but not quite close enough. Same as what's being seen behind between Lukáš Prada and Tobias Olsen.
Yeah, again, it just comes down to what's at stake here. Are you really wanting to push it? I think Pilo will want to try it, but yeah, it's just not anywhere near close enough. It's going to have to be a wild move, and 9 times out of 10 that move is going to go horribly wrong. But just give you an update on where your race leader is right now. That looks like it's just coming up towards Copse Corner through just now, because that's going to be Maggots and Beckett's that he's going to be coming up to very shortly.
Certainly is the final sector of the racetrack, just waiting for Govankini before he can call himself the champion of the event. It's been a difficult 60 minutes for some. For Govankini, I don't feel difficult is really the right word. He's just been so in control right now. The Dutchman absolutely flying around Silverstone. It's a difficult circuit at the best of times, and coming into this event we were more looking towards that Polish squad between the likes of Charcot and Tushkovic, but Govankini has said absolutely not, none of that. I'm used to driving the Lamborghini elsewhere in sim racing, and I can drive it here on AC as well. The Vale chicane awaits Govankini. One final corner. He could come out onto the Hamilton straight, and Govankini is going to win the international final here in the Predator Cup of 2022. It's Kini all day. He has been dominant. He had to battle a little bit with Gaio Valera, who was on a different strategy, but that was nothing to him. He dominates here at Silverstone. Charcot and Amathan come across in second and third. Tushkovic and Gaio Valera on a completely different strategy when it comes to its tyres, finishing rather in fifth.
I've got to say, the comment of the day, NEC9, basically saying Govan OP. I think that is absolutely spot on. That's exactly the only way you can describe it right now. And the thing is that you've got to say fair play to Jakob Charcot and the likes of Anjan Amathan and even Mateusz Tiszkiewicz as well. The fact that it wasn't that they were exceptionally slow, it was just that they were absolutely outpaced by someone who was Mr. Consistent tonight. Every single lap tonight was an absolute banger.
Like I say, it was confidence from Govankini. We've seen him be very confident before, but it was bulletproof consistency that gave him the victory, and also quite a lot of speed as well, ahead of Charcot, then Amathan, then Tushkovic, Valero, Roda, Mertgen, Solak, and then Adam Pilo, Lukáš Prada, Tobias Olsen, your top 10, Ufuk Barber, then Lawrence de Richt, then Cifuentes, who had a bit of a spin earlier on. So did Churchhorse, who had a little bit of a spin coming into the final sector a little bit earlier on the race, and made contact with the barrier on the right-hand side before coming into the pit lane. Al Sarami also behind that. Joseme, Alessandro, Malai, and Rodriguez rounding out the field, as Malai's actually had a little bit of an issue coming down into Stowe. But Govankini, the talk of the town, will be all about the Dutchman.
Yeah, it certainly will. And just looking at the statistics from the race itself there, Lewis, I'm actually wondering if that's right. Jakob Charcot shown as having the fastest lap of the race, and again showing that you can push as hard as you like, and that still wasn't enough to catch on to the back of Govand.
Well, he was looking faster later in the race. He was closing in a little bit on the race leader. We'll have to speak a little bit later on to Govankini. Let's go and see what's happening in Paris.
Oh, back.
Hello.
Yeah, back in Paris. So it seems that it's a Dutch who won the race.
Dutch winner, always good.
Yeah. So our is the cup for the winner. But we believe it would be nice to have an interview of the winner, or just to have a couple of inside of Romain talking to the winners, guys.
Yes, indeed. We will be speaking to Go Vankini in a little bit. But what did you lads make of it in the studio there in Paris?
Yeah, I think it was quite a nice race, and we're happy to have a new team member. So I'm sure we will have a meeting tomorrow with Kitty Govan to just to know what will be the program for him.
Definitely.
In the next, so one more Dutch in the team. Sim racing is very popular in Netherlands, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Why?
Yeah. I think most importantly is as Max Verstappen started to race F1. The whole country started to buy sim racing rigs, so I think that's the most important trigger.
So the same that in France with Romain. In a couple of races, it's Romain Grosjean team against Max Verstappen, which is something great. So Germany, not at the top of the game. So you
Not anymore. There was a time when Vettel won some races, but it's over already.
Yeah, sorry about that. And for France, it's a bit disappointed. But Gaël was a great racer. Once again, a lot of people joined. More than 3K people doing the hot laps. Was very popular. So it was a nice place. It was a pleasure to spare this moment with you guys, to share this moment with you guys. And I hope Kitty Govan is pretty happy to join the team, and we'll have a couple of surprises as well. So I don't know if Romain is happy to welcome another Dutch into the team. Boss in Miami.
Well, we'll speak to Go Vankini in a moment. Anyway, but I've got to say for you guys, that is a nice little trophy to hand off to Go Vankini, and also a pretty cool shirt as well. I just don't think anyone could really stop him. As soon as he had that pole position, David, he was just well in control.
He really was, and never mind that, Lewis. I'm just more interested in trying to get my name on that €2,500 check that gets signed very, very shortly. Look, absolutely well deserved, and you know, as we said, we maybe didn't mention this often enough. The fact that now a member of RHG Esports as well is just a fantastic thing to win from this competition. My God, has he earned it? I mean, the pace that has been shown tonight, that is an absolutely inspired winner of this race tonight. So very well done. And again, all the work that's had to be done from all of these competitors, the various national hot lap competitions, the hot lap final, the national finals, and then through to tonight, the international final. Everyone can leave tonight with their head held high.
And yet we know what sim races are like. You know that if you've come along and you finished in 9th, in 14th, hey, even in 2nd, you're always going to be a little bit disappointed, because you know that every driver in this had the pace to really compete at the top. That's sim races. They're all very, very competitive.
How often have we done that, right? We've spoken to, at the top level, we've spoken to like a really, really prestigious competition, and we speak to somebody who's even in, say, like 2nd or 3rd place, and you speak to them, and it's like, oh yeah, it was all right, I guess. And they're absolutely dejected, like they've lost the thing. And it's like, you've come seconds out of 35,000 people. How can you be unhappy with that? But that's just the high bar that sim racers have for themselves. We see the wonderful trophy that is going to be going his way, as well as the ring, the Predator ring, Lewis. So yeah, fantastic competition and lots of prizes on offer.
Yeah, you get a special ring when you win some really big competitions in the real life, and so might as well get one for winning something in sim racing as well. I mean, it's a pretty nice ring, very, very shiny. We are awaiting for Go Vankini, who's making himself look a lot more pretty, to be interviewed by Romain Grosjean himself. So we'll have to just hang on for the Flying Dutchman. But for a driver who's shown a lot of pace, say on iRacing, I know that RHG are an iRacing team as well as racing elsewhere in sim racing. I wonder if something like this might make him consider doing a bit more in the sim racing world by taking part on other platforms as well.
Well, I think what we have to understand now, Lewis, is that essentially franchises and big esports sim racing groups like this, they teach the drivers the fundamental skills that can be carried over in terms of like pushing up for their setups and doing things like telemetry reading and understanding how they're performing, performance, management. That is going to be so key, and that is going to be a valuable asset that Govind is going to be able to take on through the rest of his young sim racing career.
Yeah, and obviously got plenty more years ahead of the sim racing career of Govind Keeney. Just kind of what can be achieved over the next few years. It's interesting how sim racers kind of go from strength to strength, then they might disappear off into the background and then come back forwards, because Govind Keeney was right at the front of sim racing 10 years ago, battling in some touring car competitions at the front, and then ended up dropping off a little bit, went over into iRacing. He took me out on a Skip Barber race a few years ago at Kota, which I'm still holding on to.
That's not holding my grudge.
It's just classic. You know what sim racers are like? We've all got very, very long memories, but I know he probably has no idea, so it's fine. But I remember.
I remember beating Lando Norris once in an iRacing race.
Really?
I did, but that's only by default because he crashed out on that one. So yeah,
the same with Shane Vengelsberg, and he crashed out of a naval race. And I spoke to him quite a few years later about it, and he was like, "I have no memory of that." Hopefully, we'll be able to go to Govind Keeney to have a chat with one Mr. Romain Grosjean. Let's have a chat with a pair of them.
Hey Govind, congratulations first of all. How did you go? What did you feel? How was the race? And congrats on a good payday.
Yes, thank you, Roman. It was a very tough race. I mean, the tires, first of all, the rear left tires, they were like overheating a lot, so I had to be really careful on the first stint. Like you could see on the 16th lap, I almost lost the rear of the car many times. And Jakub, he did a really good job trying to follow me. I mean, I was on the limit all the time, and he could follow me and match me, and he could catch up to me in the end. But respect to Jakub. It was a good race.
Good. I like your attitude. And how does it feel to be first out of 3,000 person? I mean, it was more than 3,000.
More than 3. Well, I didn't know the numbers, but yeah, it feels really great. I mean, we work really hard with. I have a couple of friends in my Discord, and they help me a lot with the setup and the preparation and all of these things. So yeah, thanks to especially Ahmed and the guys, Lawrence and all these people who made the setup. Was really great.
Yeah, it was good to watch. I really liked the racing. I felt you did a good job with Valerio with a different strategy.
Yeah, that was very, very, very. Valerio. I turned in and I thought he would back out because he was on old tires, but he kept his foot in, and I had to go around the outside. I managed to keep it going, although I had some damage. I don't know if that affected the car, but in the end we managed to finish the race. So
French driver, like Dutch driver, we don't lift off.
No,
you have to know that.
Yeah, I should have known. But
that's a good way of racing. So I mean, congrats. It's been a beautiful event to follow. Even when I was in Indianapolis 500, I would keep in touch with IG.
Oh, really?
Things were going, and yes, you put on a hell of a show. I'm
glad you're here. I've been your fan for quite some time, actually.
Oh, that's good. So
when you were driving in Haas and stuff, you were really entertaining, to be honest.
Thank you. And I guess we're gonna learn to know each other a little bit better.
Yes.
A nice T-shirt coming in, a good trophy.
I already got the T-shirt.
Perfect. So yes, I mean it was a hell of a show. I think definitively Predator Race Cup 2022 has been a big step up from last year. We've done all the teams and everyone has done an incredible job, as well as all the drivers taking part. As you say, Jacob in P2 was pushing hard, and everyone has been very very good,
very
to
respectful.
follow.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very important for all of us, and we appreciate that. Again, congratulations.
Thank you, mate.
Enjoy your evening.
Yes.
Wish you the best, and we talk very soon about what we can do and what are the next steps.
All right. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
All right. Yes.
Well, congrats to Go Vanchini, and to, of course, a big thanks from Romain Grosjean. Let's head down to Paris to see what's going on.
Okay, so congratulations, Govan. This is your cup. This is your ring. And the final moment from your fellow Martin van Luzendorn. So this is the check out of your salary, Martin. So please sign, and once again, congratulations, Govan. Congratulations, guys. Thanks a lot.
Well, that was great to hear from them. That was, to be fair, if I was behind Van
Where's my fireworks?
that would have been the highest pressure bit. Could you imagine being there writing it, being like, was it IE? What was it? Yeah, it's a lot of pressure there, but no, good effort there, and obviously a nice little payday there for Go Vanchini, and a nice invite as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's brilliant stuff. And do you know what? It absolutely melted my little heart just seeing how happy he was to chat to Roman. It's like proper little fanboy moment there. You know what? He's absolutely earned it. That's the thing. He's obviously been around the block several times here, Lewis, and great to see he's getting this opportunity here tonight.
Yeah, and he's had to work for it. That's the kind of the critical thing that we've backed on. It's not just been gifted to him. He had to really, really work for it. We're going to give our thanks, though, from myself, Lewis McGlade, and from David Christie alongside. We've had great fun this evening, but Romain Grosjean is standing by to say goodbye.
Almost sad to say goodbye, guys. We've been enjoying so much the Predator Race Cup 2022. Again, thanks for everyone to taking part, joining, racing, doing laps. Congrats to Govandini for being the winner. Congrats to everyone that competed. I was very happy and very proud to follow everything. We did manage the fire pretty well on stage, and that looked good. So. Yes, thanks everyone. It's been a pleasure to do the Predator Cup on Assetto Corsa. We already gonna start working on next year, make it even better, bigger, stronger, as we always try. One of our motto is that we never give up, and I think that's very important in life. So, thanks again to everyone. I wish you a good evening or good afternoon, depending where you are around the world, and we will see you very soon.
Well, there it is. It's over. Flew by. Yeah, so I thought I'd just put the camera back on just to try and wind things up and, just have a chill session. You can ask me anything in this little part of the proceedings. Anything you want, really, within reason. I'll try and make a couple of adjustments to my camera as well, because it's being well, it's gone dark outside basically. So for the 10 people that are still here, thanks for sticking around. It was around 30 or 40 during the thing, but thank you to Canadian Cobra for the $5 tip as well. That's always helpful. It helps keep things running around here. I can pop that into the image buying fund that I need to keep topped up. Let me just go and pop the lights on. Oh, there we go. Much better. Yeah, this shirt needs an iron. I didn't have time to do anything with it because of the rush job I had to do tonight. So I'll keep this going until about 10 to 9, so 10 to 10 CEST. Lovely evening in the West Midlands, actually. I'll just quickly show you. It's out the window. Beautiful. Proper part of England, the Black Country. Love it. So, that's probably not... Oh god, that's not gone too well, has it? There we go. Balance that there. So, yeah, anybody still hanging around wants to just chill and just chat? I mean, £2.5 grand for an evening's work. That's... If you could, you would, wouldn't you? That's fantastic. I don't knock anybody that's able to make that kind of money doing what they love. It's proof as well that sim racing is going somewhere, and proof that Esports is going somewhere as well. So what's not to love? I do want to get back into it. I mean, I'm taking a break from racing as I did 20 weeks straight of that Assetto Corsa Competizione stuff on a Sunday evening, and now it's, you know, I'm a little bit burned out, to be honest. So, 15 people have tuned back in. It looks like my face is the main draw around here. Literally, I mean, it produces gravity. Look at the size of it. It's massive. So, yeah, if that was something that you've not seen before, or are just seen for the first time, autofocus is going mad, let me know how that went for you. Very good stuff. Probably be doing that again next year, but Go Vanchini now a Romain Grosjean driver for the next 12 months, and the guy's rapid as well. He's been, like Lewis and David say, he's been around the block a fair few times. He knows what he's doing. My face has gone very dry. Better or worse? This is like my eye test from earlier. Number 1 and number 2. I need some of that Saudi money in sim racing. You never know. You joke, but you never know. It's going places. So, what is that live money? It's the PGA split, isn't it? That's going on at the minute, where everyone's like, if you're taking part in this, you're not taking part in the PGA anymore. But then again, I'm not a golfist, so I've got no clue as to what's going on. If someone can answer that question. This is the full story of when people went to Saudi golf money. Predator, but we can see you. Yeah. Morning. No, it's actually evening. It's going off at 9 o'clock here, Sticky. Not playing a golf this week. The last bit of golf I ever played was Tiger Woods PGA Tour 1999. That's the limit of my knowledge. I'm not really into train spotters having an hour off, to be honest. The snooker split's been threatened a few times. It's been threatened a very few times? Fair few times. Ronnie O'Sullivan just had more prize money, isn't he? Can this autofocus just sort itself out? Yeah? Man, this shit looks awful. Oh well, such is the nature of my day today. Stretch. Anyway, yeah, snooker split. I do need to revisit the FISA Focal War, to be honest. There's probably a lot more in it than I gave it credit for the last time round. Let me try and zoom out a little bit. The snooker one would be called The Break, yeah. The Breakaway, literally. 7:42 AM Wednesday. Yeah, no, 7:42 AM, that's just way too early. Way too early. This is 7:42 AM? Says the guy that works from home, but I mean, what do you say after that? With everybody gone. Obviously, Discord is available if you want to continue the chatter there. There is a voice chat on there called The Pub. People do use it. I've never been there myself, but I just want to get my internet back. Do a bit of Flight Simulator. PGA 2K21. So I can't remember the last game I bought brand new. Might have been Black Ops, the original Black Ops. You never know. I think the next game I'll buy brand new will probably be the new F1 Manager. Camera, will you behave? Thank you. Good stuff. Alright, so we've probably got another 10 minutes. See if anybody wants to hang out. There's not a lot I can do here, to be honest. I would go driving, but I'm not connected to anything. Lawrence de Soswa is streaming. Go and check his channel out, by the way. That's yeah, my phone is lighting up because people go live on a Tuesday night, and it seems to be like peak streaming time. Yeah, and it looks like it's going to be a bit like Football Manager with the whole carrying on with the regens and stuff. They actually confirmed regens, so you'll have like Mitchell Brothers winning like in 2046 and things like that. So be interesting to see how they do that, because you got to think how the sponsors of the teams would react to that kind of thing. And I want to see what the actual commercial side of it would look like. Do you keep the same livery all the way through, or do you go, you know, like in Grand Prix Manager, where it was where you got like the fake sponsor names and things like that. Rensport. I've looked at Rensport. I wasn't one of the cool kids that got invited to Germany to go and look at it. Probably because I'm not seen as a sim racing YouTubist. It's one of those ones I'll look at it more once it's in a more finished state, I think is probably the best way to put it. But it's getting rave reviews. I mean, they went all out for it, so they must be confident in what it is. And they've said it's not an NFT game. So there's never you're never going to go, okay, what is this? But they've gone all out, so it makes you think it's going to be a very, very well polished product at the end, but wait and see. Autofocus, you're really starting to annoy me now. I bought this camera to avoid the autofocus. Not like how it was on my old videos. Yeah, exactly. When you can play it, you'll know. I'd like to see what it's got from like the modding potential and things like that, because I do prefer games that I can mod, just to give them a bit more replay value and things like that. I mean, Fallout New Vegas is just not stock at all anymore. Sith Lord's restoration mod for KOTOR and all that stuff. Busy on the Discord, but it was enjoyable doing this, because I'm not much of a streamer, but I like esports, and I try to push it as much as I can around here. Not that most of my audience cares for that kind of thing, But to have Predator and Roman and all that lot come to me and say, hey, do you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, I'd love to. Oh yeah, Fallout 4 needs a lot of modding. I was quite disappointed with it, to be honest. Getting power arm at the beginning of the game, not fun. Just ruined the whole thing. Have you missed anything? Race ended. This is just like the post-race chatter. If esports isn't for you, esports isn't for you. That's your thing. But I like it. Hello. Hello, Jake. Me and Dan should do what? I've missed that. Yeah, but Dan's busy at the minute. He's got a kid now. He's become boring. Dan was cool before he got married and had a kid. Oh, comms together. We did do commentary for VEC Le Mans a couple of years ago. But given that he's, what, 9-10 hours ahead of me, makes things a bit more difficult. I might go and sit outside in a bit. It's lovely out there. The sky's blue and I don't know what that looks like. The day moon is out. I keep meaning to do another endurance race with Dan, but after Bathurst I was just dead. Couldn't. I was just like, yeah, I'm never doing that again. So I'll give it another 5 minutes. Just to see if anybody else has any more questions or anything they want to say, and then I'll go and enjoy the rest of my evening. This autofocus. You are ruining my evening. And now everything's on the wonk. Oh dear. It's not my body, it's my brain. When you've done half an hour of qualifying laps at Bathurst, your brain just goes, nope, no more. But again, you are your brain, aren't you? Will I be watching 24 Hours of Spa? I'll dip in and out, but I'm not watching the whole thing. Ironically, I don't have the endurance for it. I'm the same with Le Mans, just drop in and out, just see what's going on. And I'm just like, every couple of hours, where's Jota? Oh, Jota winning, cool, right, find something else to do. And then Jota won. So I am affiliated through Esports with an LMP2 class winner. think the Mountain is the track I've done the most laps at, bar none. Like that Potato Nation race we did there for season 2. And I took pole, led every lap, and won. And I think I might have been the only guy not to hit a wall. So I just went. It's the best track in the world. You can keep your Nordschleifer. That's going to annoy a few people. If I stay still, it doesn't autofocus. Oh, no, okay. Oh, well. Anyway, thank you very much for everybody that stopped by. I know it's not what most people enjoy on this channel, but I like to do as much esports as I can because I'm into that. I like it. Like I say, it's how the whole channel started with sim racing and things like that, and it just sort of diverged and became what it is now. So to those who did stop by, thank you very much. Thank you once again for the donation from Canadian Cobra, very much appreciated. And thank you also to Acer, to Predator, and also to Romain Grosjean for having me on board for this. If you look at the pinned comment in chat, you can still get 15% off all products from Acer and Predator. 50% off all products on the Acer store at store.acer.com with the promo code RaceCup15, and that expires at the end of tomorrow for everybody. So if you want to grab yourself some 50% off computer bits and pieces from the Acer store, or peripherals like keyboards, mouses, mice and stuff like that, you can do that. And yeah, once again, thank you to Acer, Predator, Roman, and thank you to those who stopped by as well. So until next time, when I finally get my internet back, hopefully, I've been Aiden Millward. You have yourself a great day, and I'll see you all again soon for a video. Bye.